Hello everyone, if you guys are new here, my name's Liz, and in today's video I'm going to share with you guys my lemon themed tiered tray DIYs. This is the second part in my 4-part series for the month of May. Every Sunday I will release a new tiered tray theme where you can get ideas to do some of your own DIYs. And then we are also coming out with our craft kits for each theme as well. So today releases the lemon theme. If you want to see everything that we've got, head over to my website. I'll link it down below, and then I'll also show you some sneak peeks in this video. And if you missed last week's, it was our honey and bee theme tiered tray. I will go ahead and link that in the cards above and down below if you want to check out how I decorated my tier tray in a bee and honey theme. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the first DIY. So when I think of lemons, my mind automatically goes to lemonade. I'm sure there are several of you that thinks the same way, and I wanted to create a mini drink dispenser with some lemons and lemonade, so this is how it turned out. So I picked up these mini mason jars off of Amazon. I'll have them linked in the comments below, but these were the perfect size for a tiered tray. I'm going to start by painting the lid in my Waverly chalk paint and ink. After I've got that done, I'm going to take a wooden bead and I'm also going to paint that black, and then I'm going to fill the hole in the top so that there isn't a hole in the top so that I can paint it black, and then I'm just gonna hot glue that to the top of my lid. Now I'm gonna take this little planter that I got from Michael's, and it actually had a faux plant in it. I just removed the plant. I'm gonna take some of my Spanish moss from Dollar Tree. I'm gonna hot glue it to the top, and I just really liked that planter, so that's the reason why I purchased it specifically for this project. And then I had these small round wood cutouts that were left over from laser cutouts, but any kind of small round wood that you can cut in half will completely work for this project. I just took some miter shears and cut one of them in half, and then I'm gonna paint them with some yellow paint. I'm gonna paint the front, the back, and all the edges, and I did have to do a couple of coats to get that laser cutout portion completely covered up. And then I'm gonna paint the bottom of the mason jar yellow, just so that it kind of covers up the bottom when it's gonna be hot glued down to the Spanish moss. I wanted the inside of the jar to look really yellow, so I'm just going to paint the bottom of that. And then I'm going to take a white marker and I'm going to attempt to draw these into lemons. And I'm not the best artist, but I did the best I could, and I think once the lemons are actually inside the jar, it looks really, really cute. So I just drew some little lemon details on those circles and on the half little lemon wedges. Now, to make my lemonade, I'm going to take this clear craft glue that I got from Dollar Tree. In total, for my video today, I think I picked up about 5 bottles of this. For this project specifically, you're going to use 2 entire bottles. You could use more if you want your jar more full. It's just up to you. So I'm going to squeeze all the glue into a little cup. I'm going to take a very small amount of yellow paint. You can see there, just a couple of small dabs. I want this to be mostly clear with just a tinge of yellow to it. You do not want this to be completely saturated in yellow. You want to be able to see those lemon wedges when you put those in. So I'm just going to dump all of my glue into the bottle, and then once the glue is in there, I'm going to take my little lemon wedges and I'm going to stick those right in the glue. Now, I tried to push them down, but they just floated back up to the top. So I thought that after they were at the top, it still looked really cute and you could still see them. So they looked adorable in there. Now this glue is going to probably take forever to dry. I am leaving the lid off for days, but even if it doesn't, the lid is still on and it's not affecting the lemon wedges at all, and you get the little bubbles at the top. I just think this was absolutely adorable. So I'm going to take some floral and some greenery. This I believe I picked up from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just cutting these down into really small pieces, and all I'm going to do is hot glue the jar on top of my planter, and then I'll go in with some more hot glue and just glue the greenery and the yellow florals right in between the planter and the jar. Now for my little spout, I am going to take a bendy straw. I'm going to cut the ends off right where that bend portion is. I'm going to pull the bendy part out and I'm just going to shape it into like a little spout. I'll cut the other end of the straw off. I'm gonna paint it black so that it matches the black lid, and then I'm just gonna use some hot glue to attach it to the front of my jar, and that's it for this DIY. I think this is by far my favorite project for the video. It was so much fun to make. It's so cute, and I just love the little mini pitcher of lemonade with the lemons. It's my favorite. I love it. Make sure that you stay tuned to the end of the video so that you can see all of my projects together on the tiered tray. I'll decorate it and you can see a close-up of all the finished products. So this DIY is going to be really simple. I'm going to take one of these jars from the Dollar Tree. It says homemade on it, which I thought was absolutely perfect. It doesn't come with the middle lid portion of the mason jar, so I just took an extra one that I had on hand. I painted it black, and then I'm going to paint another wood bead black, and I'll fill in the hole like I did before. All I'm going to do is hot glue the wood bead down to the top of the lid. I'm going to put in some lemon drops and put on my lid, and that is it. So you got some homemade lemon drops that I just think is so fun. For this next one, I picked up these wooden scoops off of Amazon. How adorable are these? I absolutely love them. I got them in a 10-pack. I'm going to take 2 of them out. I'm going to start by painting some wooden beads. I did 3 beads per little scoop, and I'm going to paint 3 of them yellow, and I'm going to paint 3 of them white. Now I'm going to take a piece of paper. This is just some cardstock that has some texture to it. I'm going to cut it down, and then I'm going to cut the end into a little tag shape. I'm going to do that for both of them, and then I'm going to take some twine and I'm going to tie it around the ends of my scoops, and then I will string on my beads. I'll do the yellow ones for one scoop and the white ones for the other scoop. And then all I do at the end is just tie it in a bunch of knots to keep the beads from falling off the twine. You could also attach some ribbon to the end to kind of make a little handle, really whatever you want to do. And then I'm going to write lemonade and lemon drops on my tags. I'm going to hot glue those down to the handle of my scoops. And then I'm going to take some of this farmhouse ribbon that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to make 2 bows. I'll dovetail the ends, and then I will hot glue them down to the ends of my scoops. And that is it for this DIY. So I absolutely love the Scrabble tile kind of decor pieces that I see on tiered trays a lot. So I wanted to create my own, but I wanted to create a bit of a larger version. So I'm going to take these wooden Scrabble pieces that I have. I actually picked these up in a pack from Amazon. I'll link those down below, but I do know that you can find the Scrabble tiles at Dollar General, I believe, or even Walmart. But mine were blank, which I preferred. So all I'm going to do is glue them into sets of 4. So I'll glue 2 together and do another 2 together and then hot glue those to make a square of 4. You can see what I'm doing there. And then I'm going to take the tumbling tower pieces from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to do 2 sets of 4. So I just hot glued 4 in a row. I'll glue another 4 in a row, and then I'll hot glue those together like your Scrabble piece holder when you're playing Scrabble. So it's going to look like that. And then I wanted it to be just a little bit taller, so I'm going to glue another set of 4 right on top of the back. Now I'm going to paint my Scrabble holder piece in my yellow chalk paint from Waverly. I believe it's called Maze. And I'm just going to give this one good coat over the entire piece. And then I'm going to take all of my squares and I'm going to paint them in white. You're going to need a total of 5 of these squares. Now I just got these stickers from Hobby Lobby. You can use whatever kind of stickers that you want. And I'm just going to use the words to spell out lemon. I will not use an O. I'm going to use this lemon sticker that I got from Michaels. And I'm going to use that as my O and just place that right where that O would go. And then all I'm going to do is hot glue my letters down to the Scrabble holder, and that'll be it for this DIY. Now for this one, I'm going to grab another one of those mini mason jars. I'm going to pick up this pack of yellow chalk that I got from Michaels for 99 cents. I'm going to dump an entire pack in there, and I am going to hammer these until they are completely smushed. They are going to be powder. I had to take it out to my garage and do this on the cement because it was not working out on my table. Now, if you had actual lemonade mix that was yellow, this would work perfectly. If you don't have that and you have some yellow chalk on hand, do it this way. That's what I had on hand. And I'm just going to pour the powder into the jar, and I'm going to put the lid back on the jar. I will paint the lid again in my black Waverly chalk paint. And I'm going to take one of these chalk signs that you can get from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to pop the little clip on the backing off. I will take a white marker and write lemonade mix. I'm going to hot glue that down to my jar, and then using some of this yellow baker's twine that I got from the Dollar Tree, I'm just going to tie that into a little bow, and I'll hot glue that into the top corner of my chalkboard. And that is it for this DIY. Next, we're going to move into some of my lemon craft kits, which again, I am so excited, and I know so many people were asking for it. So I'm so excited to show you guys all the pieces for my lemon decor. If you want to see the entire kit, make sure that you go over to my website, but this gnome has got to be my favorite piece in the entire collection. So to put your pieces together, they are so easy. You just paint them in the colors that you want and then use some clear glue to attach your pieces to them. One little trick that I like to do is either take a toothpick or the end of a skewer stick and use that to apply your glue onto the smaller pieces. That way you're not getting globs of glue everywhere and it doesn't become a big mess. But I will always upload a video onto my Facebook page where I assemble all of my craft kits. My honeybee one and my lemon one will be up this week. So if you aren't sure how to assemble your craft kits, you can refer back to those videos. But I just wanted to show you a couple of these pieces that I thought were so much fun and I'm going to use to decorate my tier tray today. So for this other one, this is just a fun lemon one with some lemons on a shiplap background. If you know me, I love my shiplap backgrounds, so I just paint these in the colors that I want. I used white for the back of the sign, some green and yellow for the lemons and the leaves, and then I stained my border with some brown stain. And then again, I'm just going to use a end of a skewer stick to apply my glue to all my pieces and glue all those down. And then I always love doing garlands for my tier tray kits. I feel like you have to have a beaded garland on your tier trays. It's just a must for me. So I'm just taking some beads and I'm going to paint them all white. I'm going to take my lemon pieces and paint one of them yellow because you'll just glue the two lemon pieces together. You'll make a tassel and put your beads onto your twine, attach your lemon to your twine, and that's all you gotta do. So easy. We'll send you the beads, we'll send you the twine and the lemon piece. Put it all together and throw it on your tray, and it just completes the look of your tier tray. Now for this DIY, we're going to do something a little similar to the first one. You're going to follow the same steps with your glue and your paint. Just a couple dabs of paint. I used another 2 full things of the craft glue from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to take those small wood rounds again and I'm going to cut them in half. I'm going to paint them with my Waverly Chalk Paint and Maze. Cover the entire thing in about 2 coats. I'm going to draw the little lemon pieces on there so it sort of looks like a lemon. My attempt to make it look like lemon wedges. After I get those all painted, I'm gonna take this little jar that I got from Michael's. I thought this was so stinking cute. I'm gonna fill it with my glue. I'll add my lemons in there and then fill it with some more glue. And then I'm gonna take this yellow straw that I got in a pack from Michael's. I cut it down. I'm just gonna insert that straw right in there. And then I did feel like it was missing something, so in the end I did add some of my yellow baker's twine to it, tied it around the front, and that is it for this DIY. For this next one, you're gonna grab these wood stickers that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I'm gonna take one of the lemon ones, or I guess they technically could be oranges too, but I'm gonna paint it like a lemon. I'm just gonna paint the outside portion, and then I'll go in and paint all the little wedges in my Waverly chalk paint and maze. Once I've done that, I'm going to take one of these little tags that I got in a 12 pack from Hobby Lobby, and then I'm going to take these rub-on transfers that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I used them to spell out the word lemons, and I also cut out the word fresh from one of my other rub-on transfer sets from the Dollar Tree. Now, the fresh word did not work. It did not want to stick down to the sign, and no matter what I did, no matter how hard I rubbed it on there, it didn't work. And then I tried another word and that word didn't work. So I ended up having to sand them off because you can see there, it was not going to work. So in the end, to cover that up, I took some of this yellow ribbon and all I did was cut myself a bow. And because there is a wrong side and a right side to this ribbon, I had to cut a piece off and hot glue it into a loop. And then I cut another piece off for my tails. I'm going to use some twine to tie those together. And I'll just wrap my twine around it a couple times to kind of give it a little middle portion. And then I'll dovetail the ends and hot glue it right to my tag. And that's all you got to do for this DIY. I saw this bowl over at Hobby Lobby and I about died when I saw it. I thought it was so stinking cute, so I had to pick it up. And although this isn't something that you necessarily have to DIY, this is something that just makes a tier tray just that much cuter. So let me show you what I did with it. So I grabbed these lemon picks from Michael's and this bowl from Hobby Lobby. All I'm gonna do is cut off a portion of the stems on those lemon picks, put them inside the bowl, and that's all you have to do for that DIY. For this one, I'm gonna take these wood rounds. I got these from Arteza, but I know that you can pick them up at basically any kind of craft store. I'm gonna take my Waverly chalk paint and maze. Now, I attempted to draw a lemon on the front. It was not perfect by any means because we all know my artistry skills and freehanding is not the best. So do the best that you can possibly do and paint all of your little wedges in your yellow chalk paint. And then I went around the edge of the wood round and I painted that yellow as well. And then for the rest on the inside, I took my Waverly chalk paint in white and painted all the inside portion of the lemon. Now I'm going to take some Mod Podge and I'm going to put that over all of the lemon wedges. You kind of have to do this in sections unless you're really fast at putting Mod Podge on, but I just went over the Mod Podge on every one of my lemons and I picked up this really fun glitter at Michael's and then I just dumped the glitter on top of the little lemon wedges and it stuck down really, really well. And then I just repeated that process until all of my lemon wedges were completely covered in glitter. Look how cute these turned out. I think these were so much fun. Now for this one, I'm gonna take a square. It's just a wood square that we had in our stash from cutting out with our laser. So just a scrap piece of wood. You could use a wood square from the Dollar Tree. I'm gonna paint it in my Waverly chalk paint in white. And then all I'm gonna do for this DIY is take some more of those black stickers and one of these lemon stickers that I got from Michael's, and I'm going to use the lemon as an O, and then I'll take the stickers to spell out home, so the H, the M, and the E. I'll arrange that on my wooden piece, and that is it for this one. Now for this one, I'm going to take these little jars again that I got from Amazon and I filled them with wax. I melted the wax completely And if doing this again, I probably wouldn't have them all the way melted, probably just right there before it's completely melted till it's, most of it is really, really soft. And I'm going to take more of that glitter that I got from Michael's. I had wanted this to be really glittery and have all the glitter just, all throughout it. I thought it would look so much fun. It didn't exactly turn out that way, but in the end, I thought it turned out so much fun, because to me it looks like lemonade slushies, especially if you look down inside the candle. I asked my 5-year-old what they looked like, and she said, what is that? She thought it was a drink, and they smell good. I just used Dollar Tree candles and put them in here, and in the end I added some of the straws and I added some twine to go around the top. I also used my heat gun to kind of heat the wax that was up around the lip of the jar so that it would all kind of melt, and I just think that these turned out so fun. So as the wax was hardening, I tried to just stir that glitter up so that it would harden inside the wax and not just be all at the bottom. But I think this one was super fun. It was totally just experimental, but I think that's so much fun when crafting, to experiment, try something new. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay. You can get a fun little slushy out of it. So I thought this one was so much fun. Now for our last DIY here, we're going to take some wood beads. I'm going to take half of the wood beads that I have. I'm going to paint them with my Waverly chalk paint in white. And then for the other half, we're going to paint them in my Waverly chalk paint in maize. We are going to string them on some twine, just doing a pattern of white, yellow, and string that all together. Once those are all on the twine, we are going to tie those two ends together in a knot. I made a tassel with some yellow and white baker's twine that I picked up from the Dollar Tree, and I just wrapped it around a piece of cardboard, probably about 15 to 20 times, and then I'm just going to string that twine through the baker's twine, tie that in a knot at the top. You'll take some more baker's twine around the top portion of your tassel, and then you'll just cut your ends where the loops are and even out your ends, give it a little haircut, and that is it for this project. And that's it for today's video. Let me know which your favorite project was in the comments down below, and what do you think my next 2 releases are gonna be? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe before you guys leave. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!